kuseza ibiza zote zikutonda.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking to Top in Africa Live. I'm your girl, Damwihaki Njogu. Remember, you can get me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Damwihaki Njogu. And I'm so excited because this is what I told you we have lined up for you today. It's about film, it's about entertainment, content creation, production, and directing. Nimesema kila kitu, Eugene.
Umesema kila kitu.
Nimesema kila kitu. And with me, I have none other than the amazing, legendary Eugene Mbugua. Ama nimechocha sana. Nimeifanya, I repeat. Sini ukweli?
Iko sawa.
Like, he's so amazing. You know, God, what do I usually tell you? What I tell you is when you meet someone, you just never know who he is, who they are. Nitspin. So namtambua? Sana.
Sana. Umefuatilia sana.
Umefuatilia sana.
Sana.
And Nitspin, we were talking about with Nitspin before the show of how we're going to host Eugene and his works. God, let me just read for you some of the nominations, accolades, and even awards he's received so far. Unajua mtu, maybe if I tell him to say, he won't say. Let me do this. He won't. But just him here. But no, he has all this. So Eugene, in 2014, he was listed by Business Daily among Kenya's male top 40 under 40 entrepreneurs. Chum-chums, yeah, money entrepreneurs. We're going to be talking about that sector. Kwanza, your entrepreneurs and what he does in that aspect. And then in the same year, Eugene also won the Kalasha Award for the best editor for his work in the film Child for Hire. You know, editing and also film production, right? That is really amazing. And then 2015, oh God, Forbes, yeah, you had me right. Forbes, the one and only Forbes, even my director Akoko behind the scenes, the one and only, yeah, Forbes listed Eugene among the 30 most promising entrepreneurs under the age of 30 in Africa. And again in 2017, Forbes Africa listed Eugene. Imagine getting a listing in 2016 and again the following year. Kumanisha ulipata psyche.
No, but I haven't gotten on in 3 years, so maybe things declined.
No. Meaning, in the next time, you might be even maybe top 10. Yeah, you're doing good. Actually, I look at your work. And very soon, I'm going to be telling them, plus your favorite work, the one I love. I don't know, I'm just being a hopeless romantic or something. But I'm just telling you right about now. And the final one for now, I'm so sure these are just the few ones I got to see. There are so many behind the scenes. Forbes Africa listed Eugene among the top 30 under 30 entrepreneurs in Africa. And maybe you're wondering who is Eugene, what he does. Eugene is a content creator, he's a producer, as well as a director.
Yes.
Can you go out of business with all those things?
I hope not. You hope not? I hope not.
Nitspin.
Yeah.
Putting eggs in one basket.
The only people who are making money right now.
The only people who are making money right now.
Yeah.
And getting listings.
Well, and hospitals.
And hospitals.
And
hospitals. I just say hospitals, it's a bit questionable.
Yeah.
But yours is it's a bit like, right, it's a bit like you're doing tremendous work. I want to tell, I love the kitchen.
Get in the kitchen?
Yeah, get in the kitchen. And then my perfect one, our perfect wedding.
Our perfect wedding has won best wedding show in East Africa, I think, for the last 4 years running.
You know, I was going through your work and seeing your production, and I'm wondering, am I just being a hopeless romantic? You know, I'm just the type of girl who sits there, our perfect wedding. Wow, I love that setup. That is what I want to do for my wedding and all that. You know.
Yeah.
So, like, tremendous work you have done. Maybe you can just start by introducing yourself, telling people what you do, and then how has COVID been for you so far?
All right. Do you want me to look at you or at the camera?
Yeah, either way you can look at me, the camera. Oh,
so
yeah,
my name is Eugene Mbugua.
Yeah.
I run a company called Documentary and Reality TV. What we do is we produce TV shows for, I think, almost all the channels in Kenya. And we do export some to the States, a few to SA and India.
Yeah.
We produce some of our shows are Young Rich, Get in the Kitchen, Foods of Kenya, Story Yangu, A Perfect Wedding, Being Bahati. You run out of breath mentioning them. There are quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a number. And we have 2 new shows coming up, actually.
Yes.
This weekend, we have Concert Nyumbani, which is going to broadcast on, I think on our drive here, it moved from 11 channels to 12 channels.
Wow.
Because we've added, including this channel on Sunday at 2 p.m. So that's a new show. And we have, in a few weeks, we have a new reality show coming out with Sauti Sol as well.
Wow. With Sauti Sol?
Called Soul Family. Yes, we've just announced.
That is why when Sauti Sol have been doing interviews, they say, we have been very busy working on things now. At least you now know what they have been busy working on. Hey, ni poa kuleta Eugene, at least unapata some leakage. Kama exam, at least you know what is coming on your way. So Eugene, tell us about content creation, because right about now, since COVID started happening, more people have discovered they can be content creators. That is just about it.
Yeah. So for us, with Concert Nyumbani particularly, what happened was when COVID hit, of course, music went away entirely. And this is because concerts can't happen.
Sure.
And a lot of the other ways you consume music, of course, is radio and music videos and stuff like this. But people still want that feeling of a performance, not just the music video you've seen a bunch of times. And so what artists were usually doing at the time was these live shows that you've seen everywhere. And I think the one that had the most numbers was Nishinsky's, with I think cumulatively about 80,000 views. Now the problem with that is it's fantastic, but it doesn't reach the people it's supposed to reach. The reason being bundles are still quite expensive. Internet reach is still not as good in Kenya.
True.
So in a country of 50 million people plus, and we are only entertaining 80,000, it's still low. So our thinking was, how could you take the same concept and feed it to more people? And still the way to do that in Kenya is still using TV. But then it's also a bit tone deaf during this period to just play music without acknowledging what's happening. People are really suffering. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who are also like doing a lot of things that raise your hope in humanity. Being their brothers keepers, there's people going out of their way to help the less fortunate. You have the frontline workers, the doctors, the cleaners of the hospitals.
Good works during this COVID period.
So Concert Nyumbani, what it does is it makes short documentaries about these people who are doing fantastic work for others, and we have music and poetry dedicated to them. And so this first episode has, I think, 5 documentaries.
Wow.
And performances from Mombi, who's going to be here today. Jazia, Sitawa. We have Ben Sol, and we have had the band. The production is done by quite a few companies. It's my company and 3 other production companies. It's directed by myself and then also Leek and a lady called Kate Kiyoko, who did the documentaries. So it's quite a fantastic piece of work that we're very proud of.
And you also saw like the Kenya Film and Classification and Kenya Film Commission have a hand in it. Can you maybe share with us their role in it?
So this whole production has been sponsored by Kenya Film Commission. Kenya Film Commission has had for the last 1 year the leadership of Timothy Owase, who's the new CEO. And we pitched this to them very early on, and the team, they went back and they looked at it, and I think we got an approval in about a week. They were able to facilitate the funding.
Just a week?
For considering it's government, it's...
considering it's government. Bureaucracy in government,
But the Kenya Film Commission, but the Kenya Film Commission operates differently, I'd say. They're very friendly to artists, and it's not just us. If you saw last week or the week before, they released over 30 million or close to 30 million shillings for different filmmakers in the first batch of the relief for artists that was announced by the president. Of course, on this production as well, we have the Kenya Film Commission, but we also have the Ministry of ICT and Youth and Innovation, which is where all this media falls under. So we also had a lot of support from CS Mushero, who's also going to be on the show.
Wow.
So it's we got a lot of support from Kenya Film Commission, and we are hoping that it's a partnership that will continue for a long time.
Hey, from the way Eugene is speaking, I think he's just giving us a tip of the iceberg. I'm telling you, a drop in the ocean. So meaning on Sundays, what time is it supposed to be?
Sunday, 2 p.m. everywhere.
2 p.m. everywhere? 12 channels.
12 channels now.
But remember, you're going to be watching it on KUTV, right? Thank you.
But it'll stream live on all the artists' pages. I think we'll be on YouTube, we'll be on Twitter, we'll be on Instagram.
Well, I think Sun is going to come to a stop, if I can put it like that, for the first time since COVID. And like Eugene, since COVID started, emotions have been so high, people have been so stressed, and I feel like people have been looking forward to a time they can just sit and have a moment, relax, and forget about everything that is going on right now and just be in the moment. And I think that is just an amazing job you're doing right there.
And we hope we'll be able to make people feel what you've described.
Yes? Yeah. That is your goal, ultimately?
That is our goal, yes.
Wow.
For 1 hour, we want you to forget about everything that's going around you, the sadness, the death, the fact that we are running out of test kits. We just want you to forget about that and focus on, what do they say about every dark cloud having a silver lining? Just focus on the goodness of humanity, listen to some good art. Yeah,
speaking of humanity, a lot of humanity has just surfaced during this COVID period. You see how people really care for each other, how people really care for artists. Before I was talking with Nitspin and telling him about how even artists are getting support from their own funds. If artists, you see some artists don't even have money for rent and all that, but the funds step up and say, here we are for you. Things are tough for all of us, but things are tougher for some people, honestly speaking. And Eugene, because you have been in the content creation industry, you have done production, you are also a director, meaning like you're doing...
Well, I haven't directed in a long time. I've come back to direct Concert Nyumbani after, I think, 7 years break directing.
Wow.
Yeah, I mostly sit in an office now. It's pretty boring stuff.
But for Sunday, that's just getting out of the office, being up and down, producing for, getting ready for Sunday. That is something good you're doing right there. We appreciate you so much for that. And the fact that you stopped, you and your team stopped for a moment. You know, right now, everyone is thinking of themselves. Like me, I'm thinking of how I want to survive during this COVID. It will take a lot in me to just sit and start thinking about how the other person is doing. How can I better the experience during this COVID period? And did you know that you have done a tremendous work for yourself in content creation and also production, having taken even a break in directing, but you're back at it? What can you tell to young persons who have a lot of content on their side? Actually, when I talk about it, you meet someone, they have a lot of content, they have a lot of ideas, but they never know how to get by with it. What would be your advice to such a person?
There's no one advice that fits all, to be honest, because it depends on what content you're producing. Is it short videos? Is it films? Is it TikTok content, for example, like Azayad, who's hosting the show? So you could say that.
Okay, thank you. So like during this COVID period, what I have seen for most content creators, not even content creators, people who hadn't even done content before, people were just trying to survive. They have done YouTube and TikTok. Let's maybe explore the two avenues so far.
Yeah. So actually, one of the people we have hosting the show, Azayad, who became famous from TikTok. I think she was a bit famous already, but she sort of blew up entirely after
in TikTok. Her
from
dance
TikTok.
moves and all that. Yeah.
The thing about all these platforms online now is you have self-publishing. You see, for the kind of stuff we do, like Concert Nyumbani, that has to air on these 12 channels, you have gatekeepers in all these channels that you have to sort of to allow you to air this content. But with self-publishing now, with the internet, you have zero excuses for not putting your stuff out there.
True.
I mean, look at people like Flacco, look at a lot of the bloggers who are really shining during this period. Because if you have the internet and publishing is free. So to all the artists, I think I'd say just put your stuff out there. And
you put your brains out there, you make something maybe people want.
And then the thing about mastering something, it doesn't happen because of time, it happens because of frequency. To master a field, so you have to do it.
Wow, I like that, because Eugene, when you talk about that, I'm thinking about the various avenues I've talked to you about. I'm going to talk about TikTok and YouTube because that is what I've been following up on, and also my friends have been doing that. The way you're saying it takes time to master an art. You can go online and see a lot of people have YouTube channels. They started production and stopped because maybe they're not getting views. They didn't even stay enough in the place to see if they can pop up at some point. Yeah,
actually no. Well, so it does take time, yes, but mastering something takes frequency more than so, because the thing is, and this is scientifically proven, if you want to learn how to play the guitar, you can be playing 10 minutes for a year and you'll move at a very slow pace. If you play for 8 hours a day, then of course you become better at it. So same way as frequency. Frequency is what
this one should be done. If you continue to behave normally, such a thing should be done for that. What you just said right there. Sorry, you were saying?
No. So frequency. So my advice to this, to the artist you asked about is just keep doing what you're doing, and the more you do it, you become better at it. Be it whether it's dancing, be it whether you're doing comedy. If you keep doing it, you're consistent about it, and the frequency always improves your skill.
With time, with time. And Nitspin, unaonaje hiyo maneno? Where content creation unafanya nini? This is also content, Nitspin. Let's continue. DJs.
You know, there are things that there are some things that they are not for everyone.
Yeah.
Like what Flacco is doing.
Hey, talent.
That's pure talent. What Azayad is doing. That's pure talent. So I think kila mtu stick to kwa lane yake tu. Yeah.
Kila mtu stick to the lane yake. And I feel like currently there's a lot of pressure to be all over. You want to be all over. I'm seeing Eugene is doing so good at this. I want to do whatever Eugene is doing. You can see someone else is doing something tremendous. You want to join. Forgetting there's something you yourself, you can do better to yourself. And you can also grow in that field. So Eugene, so moving even past like even Concert Nyumbani on Sunday, because I've seen the lineup of the artists. They're going to be amazing. We have spoken word. We have artists who are going to be singing. What else is there apart from maybe spoken word and also maybe singing?
So no, you have for Concert Nyumbani again. It's an hour-long show, so you're not going to have so much beyond what we've said.
Sure.
So you have the documentaries that are celebrating the people who are doing fantastic work in their communities, and then you have poetry and music dedicated to those people. Other than that, you'll have a short message from the CS and a short message from the CEO of Kenya Film Commission.
Wow.
Future episodes, of course, if we do get funding for this, we'll be able to incorporate other forms of art. But for the most part, it's poetry, music, and documentaries.
Well, speaking of which, and the way you're speaking about Sunday, I know, not I think. Thinking is I have doubts. I know it's going to be very tremendous. The Sunday issue, right? And how much time have you put into putting this into reality?
So the show, I think I came up with the concept for the show maybe mid-March, towards the end of April. Initially, when the initial lockdown happened. Not really lockdown, but remember when COVID was first announced in Kenya?
I think COVID was first announced during, I think, the second week of March.
Mid-March, yes, mid-March. And of course, we all retreated back. There was that 2-3 weeks where nobody was going anywhere. At least I wasn't going anywhere. And of course, everything was being cancelled. Then the cessation of movement happened, and the curfew. So it was during this period that I started to see these live shows, and that's when the concept came up.
Yeah.
But of course, a lot of work goes from conceptualization to... so initially, I think what we had in mind was called home concerts or something. And we pitched it to a few guys, and then we refined it a bit. Then a few weeks passed by, and I think mid-April is when I pitched this eventually to Kenya Film Commission. And there's been quite a lot of work that has gone into it. There's a lot of pre-production.
Collaborations.
Contacting the artists, finding out who's a good fit, because we went through quite a few of them.
Thank you. That was going to be my next question. Just address it. Address it.
Who was a good fit? How did you select the artists?
Yes.
So we gave a very simple brief. So we knew we wanted female poets because we were locked on Hat the Band. And of course, being all male, we wanted some gender balance. So we knew we were looking for female poets to do the pieces. And I personally spoke to quite a few. Some of them didn't really see the vision. I think actually 2 turned me down outrightly.
Wow. Yeah.
This doesn't sound like my thing. Then a few others really couldn't fit because of the kind of content that they produce. It wasn't very uplifting. Because that was the only brief. It has to be uplifting music. So for Hat the Band, of course, when COVID happened, El Shaddai came out, and El Shaddai was the anthem during this period.
Yes,
so that was an absolute fit. Of course, if we do get funding for the show, we want the season finale to be Better Days by Sauti Sol.
Wow.
So Hat the Band, we selected them because of the song El Shaddai. Ben Soul, because he's so soulful, like his name. Yeah. He makes very beautiful, soothing music, and a lot of it is very uplifting. And for the poets that we have, of course, they submitted a very beautiful work. I think it didn't take much convincing to sign them on. I think the convention maybe lasted 2 days. We saw the poems. We got back to them, said we want them on. They said yes. They came for rehearsals, and we filmed. Then the post-production has taken quite a while. I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not too sure. I've lost track of time because of all this COVID stuff. I never know what date it is anymore.
True.
So there's quite a bit, because you see there's about 80 filmmakers who have been involved in this production, from caterers to cameramen, to soundmen, to lighting guys, to the guys who do the backline for the musicians. So it's been very, very beneficial for a lot of artists.
Now I'm going to speak out for my friends. I know my friends are tuned in, and I know some of my friends who like dreadlocks and all that. So I'm going to just ask straight on, how old are your dreadlocks? They're pretty long, very long actually. They're
very long.
Yeah.
I've had them since 2009. Because I joined them, I started growing them out when I joined university.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had them for almost 11 years now.
Yeah. Nice. And just as we finish, Eugene, COVID has really affected everyone. Let's put it like that. But what is your COVID story? Like, how has the experience been for you since March to now?
No, so of course just like everyone, we've been affected quite heavily. We've got some of our TV shows couldn't continue filming because of first our biggest honor, which is our perfect wedding. There are no glamorous weddings happening anymore, and when they do happen, it's 15 people. So what story do you want to see about 15 people sitting in a room and doing vows in 15 minutes? There's not much there. So that show, of course, is off air. I don't think it's coming back this year at all. After 4.5 years, without fail, every week, it's finally taking a break. We've got a traveling food show called Foods of Kenya that's on KTN. Which is one of our most popular TV shows by numbers. Of course, again, cessation of movement. You don't want to take corona to your grandparents, which is mostly the elders who we see during this show. So we've been affected in that sense. But I'm not really want to complain because, to be honest, we've turned around and we're doing different stuff. Yeah. That's
amazing. Nitspin, do you have anything for Eugene?
Just keep on.
Thank you.
And good work, Eugene. You're doing so many. Like you are one person who has so many hats and balance it so perfectly well. So Eugene, as we finish up, do you have a parting shot for our fans who are tuning in, who are watching us from home?
Yeah, Sunday 2 p.m. Please tune in.
That's it. Sunday 2 p.m. Please tune in because it's going to be concert Nyumbani. And right about now, Eugene, thank you so much for coming and all the best, even post-COVID in your production, directing. And let's hope you're going to produce and direct more things, right?
I hope so.
Of course, you hope so. So Nitspin, take us off.